Growing up, I had dreams and aspirations, but always felt like the kid that didn't fit in. For the most part, I wasn't a bad kid, but when I made the transition into adulthood, I turned to the streets for guidance. This led to getting locked up in juvenile hall, doing time in CYA, and eventually a 120-month sentence in federal prison. I had a lot of time to think and reflect during my federal sentence, so I share with you what I learned, hoping I can positively influence someone else's life with Prison Talk.
What up? Big Herc 916, getting down with Fresh Out. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share the channel. You know, we've been stuck at this 560,000, man, for 2 years. It doesn't make no sense, but we keep pushing with the content, speaking the truth, and maybe that's the problem. We speak the truth. December 18th, 5 p.m. Pacific time, live stream on YouTube. We're going to do the Christmas bag giveaway with Big Herc and Sinister Monopoly. We're going to be raffling off artwork, auctioning off artwork and merchandise, and yeah, it's going to be going down, and we're doing it for the holidays, so make sure you guys tune in. Put that in on your calendar. You know, with a lot of stuff going on, what you see sometimes is elusive, and you think that this person is balling, they're doing this and that. You know, social media has a way of putting out these false narratives. Well, besides the FTX, reality show stars Chrisley Knows Best were convicted of committing fraud and tax crimes. Now, reality TV personalities Julie Chrisley and Todd Chrisley, you know, were known for having multiple shows and just being very successful as America's Family, have both been found guilty of conspiracy to defraud banks out of more than $30 million in fraudulent loans, according to press release from the Department of Justice. And this is CNN Entertainment, and this is going back from June 8th of 2022. So these individuals have been on house arrest, and they're still filming the show. Imagine that. They're on house arrest, filming the show, and I think they go back for sentencing in January. The Chrisleys and their accountant, Peter Tarantino, were also convicted of several tax crimes, including attempting to defraud the Internal Revenue Service. The release from U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Georgia, Ryan K. Buchanan, said, "As today's outcome shows, when you lie, cheat, and steal, justice is blind as to your fame, your fortune, and your position." Kerry Garley, a special agent in charge of FBI Atlanta, said in a statement, "In the end, when you're driven by greed, the verdict of guilty on all counts of these three defendants proves once again that financial crimes do not pay." You know, it's crazy, man, because these people are smack dab in the middle of TV fame, Hollywood, you know, all these different spinoff shows. They're flaunting their wealth for everybody to see, and yet they're creating a paper trail of fraud. You know, when you're filing for these loans, these different institutions, and you're getting this money, and you're saying things, and you're signing, you know, under truth and, you know, perjury and all this stuff, you're creating these contracts and agreements, and when you put this false information down, it's not like they can't go back and look at the documents to see what you put down. So, you know, it's very interesting when you look at this situation and how you have to wonder, what were they thinking and how long did they think that they could get away with perpetrating this fraud? It's just, you know, it's kind of mind-blowing, but then again, it's not, because, you know, when you're dealing with a lot of ego and just, I guess, a very narcissistic perspective, it doesn't really come into play. They were able to obtain the loans by submitting false bank statements, audit reports, financial statements. The news release said the money was then used to buy luxury cars, designer clothes, real estate, travel, according to the DOJ. Then, while earning millions of dollars on their reality show, the Chrisleys, along with Tarantino, conspired to defraud the IRS and evade collection of delinquent taxes, the press release stated. So, 2 of the Chrisley Knows Best stars received their sentencing, and Todd was sentenced to 12 years in prison for bank fraud and tax evasion. Julie was sentenced to 7 years for her involvement in the crimes. Both were sentenced to 16 months of probation following their jail time. The Chrisley's former accountant, Peter Tarantino, was also sentenced to 36 months in prison after being found guilty of conspiracy to defraud the IRS and willfully filing false tax returns per Insider. He is set to report to prison May 1st, 2023, after undergoing hip surgery, according to the outlet. Insider also report that Todd asked for a lesser sentence for Julie, as the family still has minor children, 16-year-old Grayson and 10-year-old Chloe, who is the daughter of their son, Kyle Chrisley. Yeah, man. So it's full circle, and they were actually still shooting. They said that, you know, they don't have to. I don't see where they have to turn themselves in. Yeah, so they were initially scheduled to be sentenced October 6th, but their sentencing was pushed back to November 21st after a lawyer claimed witness lied on the stand. I'm trying to see here when they have to turn themselves in. So yeah, they're convicted. They got to do the time. I think they're trying to appeal their case, but I don't see here when they have to turn themselves in. Yeah, when you play with the feds, man, and you know you think you're getting away with something, you know, these people have all the resources, and you know, I guess the lawyers for the Chrisley disputed the prosecutor's sentencing guidelines, arguing the government has vastly overstated the amounts of loss, restitution, and forfeiture. They claim that neither of the Chrisleys purposely sought to inflict the harm upon the banks, and Todd Chrisley intended to repay the bank loans. So, yeah, I still haven't found out when they have to turn themselves in, but I know that they were out on home confinement, pending jail time. And yeah, so, you know, just be wise when you see some of these people and you think, oh man, they're living it up. Like, what's going on behind the scenes and how they got there, because a lot of what you hear is not really what has transpired to get to where they're at. There's a lot of other stuff they did to get there, and you know, the narrative you being fed, it could be anything. So, hey man, Big Herc 916.
Stop walking around with a crusty butt, smelly ball sack, and a funky hoo-ha. Big Herc said, wash that ass. Pick you up a t-shirt at freshoutseries.com.